Hello.
Anja,
Yay. How are you today, Shehnaz?
I am great. I just love the symbol you have on the background because that's the sacred geometry of all creation.
Yeah, it's Merkaba, yeah?
Ex-
Yeah. Would you like to tell anything about it?
Yeah, well, it's basically a Merkaba. It's also an integration of yin and yang. It's an integration of polarity. It's an integration of all there is because actually the polarity and duality is what makes things spin in the direction where it keeps it in that form. So it's very interesting how it's connected to the rotation, it's connected to the integration, and it's connected to the convergence of, right things coming together. And Markaba, right? And I kind of say Markaba because of my other languages, right? It's kind of a huge indication that we are the craft that can be activated, ascended, and transformed and transcended.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. And when I was trying to make it, like draw it, it's in a way it's very complicated, but in different way it can be really simple. You just have to see it, like you have to focus on it. So I think it's magical. It's like it's really powerful.
From
Um,
once it represents the emergence because of the fact is that when you see it, because your picture there is depicting the three-dimensional, right? Which kind
yeah,
of the emergence of fractal holographic reality just by the way it interconnects with each other.
yeah, it's a statement.
Yeah.
Um, so I was for today. I was thinking that we could talk a little bit about purpose. We already mentioned this topic in previous video, but as you know, I'm a career empowerment mentor. And I'm also running a Facebook group with more than 1,000 people in it. And I'm also offering like a career empowerment, like energy boost phone calls. And a lot of people who I get in touch with is they're asking me, like, Anya, how can I discover what do I like? Or I would like to leave my job. I would like to start my own business, but I have no idea what I can do. So it's like a lot of people, they are not happy where they work. They want a change. And of course, they're going through spiritual awakening. Either they are aware of it or not. But a lot of them, they are. But yeah, what would you suggest? Like, what would be your suggestion to them? Where they
Well,
can start?
okay. So first of all, I love this question because truly, and this is going to be a long answer, so just be ready for it. Partly because this entire year, I have actually learned the answer to this question with everything that I went through, right? And I want to share that with everyone because we all need to understand the idiosyncrasies of being in this extremely dense reality, right? So I always say that what gets you there keeps you there, right? So there's a reason you have created the reality where you are like working or you are not happy with your work or all of that is partly because the veil is lifting, right? So what's happening is everybody's becoming more aware of what their heart desires. So it's a great thing. But it's almost like I give this analogy of like Snow White, right? Like when Snow White is in the glass coffin, right? And it's almost like, you are in the glass coffin. And then I always say that, like, of course, the true love kiss, right, can revive you. But to me, it's along the same line where you realize that you're in a glass coffin and you want to be saved type of feeling that I'm getting from what you're talking about. And of course, in real life, there's nobody kissing you to get you revived by any means. You have to revive your own damn selves. So in order to do that, I'll tell you a little bit of my story that I have been on this quest of understanding that what is my purpose and right, what I want to do in this world. And of course, I've created a very good, successful life from the matrix standpoint, like having a job at NASA, working on going to the dark side of the moon, working with the cream of the crops of the people. So it makes it even harder for someone like me to kind of really focus on what I really want and how can I integrate that, right? So based on quantum physics, when you change one thing, right? What is the rest, Anya?
You change everything.
Exactly. So when we keep that in mind, right? So they all have to keep in mind because it's not going to happen overnight, partly because it took you years, months, days to get where you are, right? So don't get impatient. But every single day, if you change one thing, what's going to happen is you're climbing the Jacob ladder really fast and you transcend what you desire into your reality, right? So I wrote a book last year, which was my way of making a statement to myself that I'm ready to do something different, right? But just by doing the book, I didn't become the New York bestseller or became the public speaker I wanted because everything has its density, right? So we have to kind of merge with the density. But this entire year, I went to many different places. I have been to I traveled almost every month to different states. I did the public speaking. I sold my books. I learned what is fake, what is real. And towards the end of this year, I realized that there's a lot of things in my life that's amazing. So what I'm suggesting, okay, so number one, wherever people are, they need to make sure that they make a list of things that's still really amazing, right? Like it's very amazing, Anya, that you are a mother of a beautiful son. Would you agree with that? Right?
Oh, I absolutely agree.
I agree that I have four beautiful boys and they're really remarkable, intelligent, amazing. So what I'm saying is we need to make sure we make a list of all the amazing things we already have accomplished because we don't want to lose that.
To be grateful, yeah, for everything that we are grateful in our life.
Exactly. So first you acknowledge all the stuff you're good with, happy about. Then you acknowledge all the things you would like to change and be aware of that. And then what you do is you change one thing every single day. If you change more than one thing, more power to you. But at least change one thing every single day. And what happens? Everything starts converging. So I'll tell you in my case. So with my story, fast forward, right? It's been a year I did my book. So right now I'm sitting in a very good place where I just landed a very good job within NASA, but it's even better, more exciting, more challenging. And it's a leadership role. So for me, that's my acknowledgement that I actually love to dwell into multiple worlds because we are a multidimensional being. I don't want to just leave everything and be only an author. No, I want to be an author. I want to be an engineer. I want to be an alchemist. I want to do this with you. And I want to have fun and I want to help build community. So sky has no limit.
Yes, I love that because people they think that they have to stick to one thing. They think it's like, oh my God, I've been working in this company for like 10 or 12, 20 years. Now I'm really into energies. They are discovering like yeah, their soul is awakening and they don't know what to do because they want to change, but they think that they need to leave everything and just focus on the energy or work or whatever. And what I'm also telling them, you don't have to do that. You can do a combination of both. Of course, if you are not suffering at your job, if you are suffering like where you work, then yeah, your soul is telling you just change it. But everybody are thinking that they need to leave everything behind and just step into this unknown. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna start my own business. I will not have money. I will not have this security. And you can keep the regular job and just do whatever you want to do.
Right. I'll tell you this, right? So let's just completely come into the physics of our existence, okay? We are vibrational being, right? We are continuously vibrating. At the subatomic level, there's a lot of space between matter, right? 99.99999. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is that wherever you go, there you are, okay? Misery loves company. So let's say that if you don't exactly do what people are thinking, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is if you haven't done the processing of making sure that you can learn, because there's a reason you are where you are, because we all are co-creating our reality based on all our experiences, our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, our patterns, our subconscious mind. So there's all this input that's coming to you. So when you do something like that, what happens? That ultimately, if you haven't done the work to really meet yourself where you need to be, what happens? You will recreate the similar scenario in other form.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And also the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is like I don't think people are not really aware, yeah, that we are all creators of our own realities. So we really need to take responsibility for everything. Also, if we are in toxic environment at work or in some relationship, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but we created that.
Right.
So, and it's very difficult to accept that because it's like sometimes when I had a conversation with one person, and she was like, yeah, but it's not my fault. And another person got a job and they didn't pick me. It's not my fault. It's like, it's not about fault. Yeah. It's not about guilt or I don't know. Yeah. To blame somebody, but it's about taking responsibility and reacting differently.
Right. And also
Yeah.
recognizing the reflection that you are processing partly because you need to process it in a different form, right? Remember chapter 6, right, Anya? So you're, of course, very well up with my book. So the whole book, right, explains exactly what you just said. So it's not about the
Yeah.
fault. It's not about, like, it's all about comprehending yourself. Like right now,
Yeah.
you and I are exchanging this because we are mirroring each other, a different aspect of ourselves, right? So you need to actually start making a list of the mirror you are reflecting,
Sure.
and the one that you enjoy, and then the one that helps you grow, or the one that helps you feel good, and then the one that challenges you, because all of them are equally good. But at the end of the day, then you decide that the one that challenges you, is that challenge is helping you grow, or is that making you so depressed that now you want to just not be in this world? You see? So then you got to make a discernment there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And yeah, one more thing. What would you say? For example, I was also talking to people who are awakening, feeling like that they are really into energies and they see stuff and stuff like that. And when they are in working environment and they feel that they are not accepted, so it's like, what would be your suggestion to them? How they can, I don't know, act, or because they have a feeling that everybody are like is making fun of them, or like they think that they are weird. So like from your perspective, how can people survive in their working environment when they start waking up?
So very first thing I would say, because I have always been very aware, right? And because of that, I want to help everybody to accept the awareness, because that's the gift. That's what makes us human. That is what discerns between AI and human. So to me, first step is that they need to actually say thank you to themselves for being different, or for being aware, for being alive, and for not being a zombie or a robot or whatever else labels are there. Right. So they should be grateful for that. And then the very fact that they think that they're being judged is because they're judging themselves, because it's all about, we're continuously doing that to ourselves, right? Every single thing that we actually truly experience is partly because part of us has a little bit of a fear, part of us has a little bit of inhibition. It's almost like every time when I go to a place where I am not familiar with the area, I feel that I'm going to get lost, right? While I'm driving. Guess what, Anya? I do get lost because I'm already asking for it, right? So what I'm saying is we are human, right? So it's not like we're perfect. But when you understand this cause and effect, that I create this partly because I'm fearful. So if they're going to judge themselves, definitely everybody else will judge them with a bigger magnifying glass, because that's just the way it is. It's like we see everything through amplification, right? So so what I would say is, by the way, this is a great time, Anya. I'm going to give you a little preview of light body activation, because what I would say is that they need to really own into this incredible power that they have within themselves. And see, what I want to teach, Anya, and hopefully the door is going to open as you and I are converging, is that I would love to teach light body activation to everybody in the corporate world, everybody in the retreat center, and we can just take it everywhere. The reason is that light body activation, what it does, and I do it every day, and that's why I want to teach everyone. It just makes you very aware of how you can be like a bird flying in the sky, okay? How you can be kind of tapping into that vibrational existence of yourself. So when you do that, Anya, it's like meditation, right? If when you get good with meditation, you can do it while you're sitting in your traffic signal with the red light on, because you have an opportunity to just go in and take yourself, get interconnected. Light body activation, the reason I call the light body activation, partly because I say that when you work on photonic absorption and emission by being aware of the fact that it affects your cell voltage, affects your healing, affects your awareness, affects your consciousness, affects your capacity to hold light. That power, when you give it to yourself, and you can do that anytime, even when you feel like you're being judged, what happens? It makes you one with everything. And when you're one with everything, nobody can argue with you, right? So
Yeah.
let at least have a little preview of what that feels like. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Let's show.
Okay. So yeah, just make sure you got it out. Okay, let's see. So the whole idea about the light body activation is that you want to imagine that you actually are truly a bird flying in the sky, is how you want to exist in all your form. So when you are listening to music like this, basically it's called epicycle. And what it does, it just reminds you of the fact that there is always a rhythm in every aspect of our existence. Everything is continuously moving. And it's funny, Anya, that we are actually talking on the riverside, which has that sinusoidal curve. And that to me, right, is what we need to remember, that we are continuously moving, and we're continuously changing, and we're like an ocean, we're like a fluid. And when we really express that aspect of our existence and do this dance with all there is, and when we do it right under the central sun, touching the earth, and being with all the people who are in the exact same vibration and frequency, that's why someone like Joe Dispenza can make magic happen. That's exactly the same concept, okay? It's all about making your heart coherent with your mind, and every single thing becomes one. It's just so powerful. And I know that it's hard to give that preview when we are sitting in front of virtual machines, but just imagine when we are live with all the crystalline beings that are vibrating. And then, I mean, I can't even tell you, when I'm in that space, it's so much fun for me because we all just end up going completely in places that we have never even imagined before. It's very powerful. It's very powerful.
Awesome. Can't wait.
But this is just a little preview.
I want to be a word.
As I said, because we'll have to do it with it's all, but yeah, I'm telling you that we all need to. So the answer to the question that you were asking, those people first step they have to do is to thank themselves for even being aware that they are actually being judged. Even that is a great step. Then they need to stop judging themselves, because whatever you do to yourself, it becomes bigger when it comes back to you through a reflection, right? So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is that integration is the key, right? So everybody is in different steps in their evolution. Everybody has different opinion about everything that's happening in the world, but don't let that mess up your
own perspective. Yeah.
Exactly. How you show up in the world. You need to be just as loving as you can be, because when you do that, and when your frequency stays strong and you don't match at other people's frequency who are judging you, what happens is they end up finding somebody whom they can properly judge, or they will come and dance with you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And for example, my mentorship program, like it consists of 10 milestones. And I would say like the final goal is to help people to raise their vibration, so they become, in a way, they become magnets for the right, people and right opportunities, like career opportunities or like business opportunities, whatever. So, when people are seriously, when they are expanding awareness with the information that I provide or I give them or I guide them to them. So, they also change their quantum field of opportunities. So, what they are usually asking is like, when is going to happen something? Oh, nothing is happening yet. And like this expectations, I think this is like contradictive to the process. What would you say?
100% agree with you, because whenever you're tapping into the fact that you're disappointed, because technically you are, when you're thinking that, oh my God, I've been waiting for a lifetime. Why has it not happened? As soon as you go into that thinking mindset, what happens is that it's almost like you are kind of like, whatever you created to build the momentum to get there, you are kind of going backward. You see,
Yeah.
so in a way, you become your worst enemy, which is the reason most of the time we have trouble manifesting something brand new. But, in order to manifest something brand new, first of all, you have to truly believe in that it does exist in the ether, right? Because it has to exist in the ether for it to become your part of your
To attract it, to materialize. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to believe in that. But when you question it by timing, because time truly doesn't exist in any other dimension except this. And to me, people should only use time to trace each other into material existence. And that's it, right? Never put a time, because there's a reason that if something is not happening to you that you want, just think about it. It's almost like you become like a millionaire overnight, right, Anya? And let's say you never knew how to deal with money. The thing is, it sounds pretty exciting, but if you become a millionaire overnight, you may not even keep that money for too long, because you did not earn it, where you were able to kind of match a vibration with it at every nanosecond. So what happened was, when it happens suddenly, even though you're excited, but you retain it, because it's all about retaining, right? Whatever you want to create, Do you want to just create for one day or do you want to create for an eternity? So that time you got to be able to retain it. So I always say what gets you there keeps you there. So that's why like all the hardship that we do to get sometimes somewhere, the reason nobody can take that away from you is because you truly, it's part of you. Nobody can take it
Mm.
away. It's not
Yeah.
separate from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say, like the heart energy and the heart desire, like you mentioned before? Uh, yeah, it's playing a big role here. Yeah, you cannot do all this stuff if you are only in rational mind.
Oh, 100% because our heart electromagnetic field is way vast, way vast. Like it's like multiple times than the brain, right? It's pretty obvious. Heart math has already done it. Not only that, when you tap into your heart, because your heart is your central, it's right at the Christ energy consciousness, right? In Kabbalah, we call that as like a Christ consciousness, right? And then everybody's like, is it talking about Jesus Christ? And I said, yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ is a great representation of what every human should be. Like, why not? Because he exemplified that, right? And whether you believe in a religion or not, it doesn't really matter. But the energy that he exudes, we all have a capacity to exude that. And to me, when you focus on becoming more like Christ, then what you do is you serve yourself and you serve others and that comes from your heart, right? That is, heart is our central system that connects every single thing. In all things great and small, I see the beauty of the divine expression is the affirmation, is the Kabbalistic affirmation that comes when you talk about heart.
Wow. Okay, great. Yeah, because I also see it very important, but it's very difficult sometimes for people to get in touch with their heart. One way is heart connection that we already mentioned, like the device that you can listen to your heartbeat, and this really takes me to a different dimension. But like there are probably different ways how people can get in touch with their heart. But I think that they're afraid.
Yeah, and I can actually relate to that, because I'm very mental, right? And what happens for me when I live in a spiritual plane with light body activation or mental plane with my work as a rocket scientist, it's kind of like it's easy for me, okay? And it's funny because so it's interesting because I'm talking to a guy, right? And it's all about relationship. And I have my friend Susie, right? She tells me to think from your heart, right? And as soon as she says that, it's almost like, and Anya, you should start saying that to me too, because I need that reminder. It's almost like, oh, okay. It's almost like it's an adjustment for someone like me, right? So I completely agree that because it's kind of safe for me to stay mental and spiritual, but I truly, and I'm a very emotional person because I would cry, I would laugh, and I'm all there. But what I'm saying is I'm operating always on a mental and a spiritual plane. But there are times when you are building a relationship, it's good to go all the way to your heart and actually ask your heart, what do you want, right? And that's where, to me, the inner child work comes, okay? That's where you ask your child self. It's like, what do you really want to do? And it's okay to say that to people who loves you and you know what, who you love that. And if by any chance they get mad at you for you being vulnerable, then it's good for you to know that these people are not the people you want to be with. Either way, either way is going to help you discern and it's also going to help you own your power, right? So to me, it's definitely hard to be vulnerable for people like us who have gotten a lot of bruises in their heart, right? And I can relate to that. But what I'm saying is that there's just no other way. We have to go through it.
Yeah, this time especially. So we are encouraging people to get in touch with their heart. I mean, it has to be a balance between mind and heart. Yeah, because we still live in the planet Earth. Yeah,
Oh,
where there
definitely.
are
Definitely. And that's
different
right.
rules.
It's just like duality, right? It's all about
Yeah,
conversion. It's all about integration. And
yeah,
there's a role playing that's going on because mind represents the light. Mind
yeah,
represents the consciousness. Mind represents the bigger picture. The heart represents the interconnection with everything there is. So they both are playing together.
yeah. So what I'm doing, you already saw that I wrote on LinkedIn that I'm connecting spirituality with business through HR and everything what I'm doing. So, what would you say? Like, what is your perspective on this? Like, why are companies not open yet to this awareness? Like, what are they afraid of? For
So both
example,
have,
leaders of like corporate world, because there are so many people that are waking up in the company But like in general, it's like they're so afraid of something that they're rejecting. It's like, why?
Well, so if you really look at it, it basically goes with the fact that it's almost like there's this fight going on with the system as is and the new system that's coming in, right? And that's going on with the traditional medicine and alternative medicine. That's going on with the financial system that we have and the other financial system like blockchain and other systems.
Education, everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Education and same with work. Like the whole COVID made people realize that they can be productive while they can still be making a meal while they're attending the meeting, and then they have their children right there and then their pets right there, right? So the thing is all about integration. So the biggest challenge that the corporation and the companies are having right now is that they are fearful that if they give too much freedom to their employee, then their employee may leave them or the employee may not do certain things. But to me, they don't realize that the employee that's going to leave them, they're going to attract a better employee. See, it becomes a win-win situation.
Exactly.
And
It's quantum rules. Yeah. Yeah.
what I can do, Anya, is help them understand that it is a win-win situation. Yeah, there may be a little bit of a growing pain in the process because you are doing something you've never done before. But rather than being fearful, if they may attract the best people, best employee ultimately who truly wants to be there, like a Star Trek world. These people want to be there because that's their passion. And the productivity will increase exponentially. So if they really understand the power of the living quantum way, right? It's embracing what we truly are at the very subatomic level and then maximizing the potential of every single human existence.
Yeah, because I really see that and I know and I have a vision. But whenever companies are like, so how would you help us recruit? And I tell them like what is going on an energetic level. And they are not really getting like the whole picture, which of course, I cannot judge or anything. It's just like I would like to expand their awareness of what is possible. And exactly what you said, if somebody is leaving because it's their time to go. They need to go because it's the next level of their development. And nobody can force them to stay if their soul needs another level. And I think when companies will start seeing people as spiritual beings and they would have a budget for spiritual development and personal development, my God, I think a lot of things would be different.
Yeah, so one thing I would suggest, but like the very first question I would ask. So let's do the role playing, okay? Why don't you become the person that you're the CEO of a company who's very fearful about losing all your people because of all this. Okay, so let's do role playing. It's gonna be fun. So tell me your like say anything you like, and then I'll tell you how I would take you in a different place.
Okay, so yeah, as you know, our people, like the productivity is very low and they are not engaged. Like they're lazy. Some people are really lazy, but we cannot afford to have these people. Like, what can we do? But we also need more new people, and they are not there. We cannot find them. We have problems with our recruitment. We have problems with team motivation. So, what can we do?
Okay, so very first thing I would like to find out is what exactly is your vision? Okay, what do you really want? Like, I want you to project a white screen in front of you and draw or paint a picture or write down the words that shares your mission statement with me first. Because I want to know what are you wanting to create? Because, you have to be very clear in what you want to create. And then once you have that vision, then you communicate the vision to people and see who is aligned with you. And the people who are like lost or don't understand or don't care or don't want, then they're not your people. It's the same philosophy we are going to use it on a community. That's the same philosophy the mayor should use when they're building the city. And to me, that's my jam, Anya. So I want people to first level set themselves. So these people who are coming to you, I want to give them light body activation because it's going to really activate their photon where they're going to start realizing that they are not attracting because they are not even sure what they want. They need to be very clear in what they want because when you're clear, it's like a laser, right? Because the laser is very laser focused. When laser focus, it makes miracle.
Yeah. And for companies, when I'm talking, it's like, what do you want? What is your vision? We want to be market leaders. We want to be the best in our industry.
That is not a vision. The vision needs to be.
I know it's supposed to be heart desire. Yeah.
No, and even it doesn't matter how it comes, but the vision should be like, let's look at your company, right, Anya? So your vision is pretty obvious. You're saying you want everybody to operate off their heart and be kind of reciprocative and no longer be in this mindset, which is a separation mindset, right? You're all about integration mindset. And it's pretty obvious that you feel like if everybody does it, it's going to be a win-win situation. So your vision is that you want people coming together. And you exude it by connecting people, and like you are connecting me with Perry, for example, right? You exude that because you love people. And then what happens? Perry loves you, I love you. And what happens? We create that triangle. And then what happens? Right? Then we create the Merkaba, because the more people are doing the same thing, we keep on multiplying like a flower of life sacred geometry. So it becomes easy. So of course, your vision is a little bit more simple in a sense, right? But let's say if somebody has a vision, whatever your creation they're creating, like when the project I'm working on at NASA, right? It's pretty obvious they have a vision that they want to see, astronauts living on a moon, right? So they have a vision. So ultimately, when we say that's their vision, living on the moon, then at least it makes it obvious to people that that's the vision. And then people can say, well, there's no moon. Moon is a satellite. Moon is bullshit. Okay, got it, right? So definitely you're not going to be part of that vision because you are questioning it. And that's okay. You see my points? It becomes so easy to discern once you say, well, this is the vision, people living on the moon. And some people are like, oh my God, I would love to be on the moon. I'm like, okay, come on and join us. So that's what I want. So when you talk to this company, tell them that, of course, everybody wants to make tons of money but all that is not a vision. That's more like a outcome of the vision. Let's talk about what exactly you want. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to become almost really good at making sure, like dog whisperer, to make sure that they are not moving away from what you're asking.
Yeah. And I mean, it's all about awareness anyway. It's like I said, I'm not in a place of judgment, not even close. It's just like, I really see these vibrational matches. Yeah. And when they are, I also see when there is no vibrational match. And a lot of energies or like artificial synergies are made and they don't belong together. They're just working and they're doing each other a favor, whatever, but they're not connected. So I don't think that can last for long. Yeah.
That's not the way to live. And I feel like that people who are very frustrated and they're not getting what they want, it's partly because they're not very clear on what they want. That's just my simple answer to that. And it looks like
how they can find out what they want. Like if we go back to the first question, and how they can ask themselves what they want.
And a lot of time it requires you to be almost like there's a word for it, like an extractor, right? Which I've gotten all this certification for being a health coach and a life coach. Plus I do root cause corrective action in my engineering problems, right? So I am very good. No matter how hard as you are, I'm extremely good at extracting that from you, because at the end of the day, it's like, and what I suggest for you, if I'm not able to do that, what I would suggest is that when you keep asking them why, ultimately it's going to get there. But they have to be willing to walk with you, because at the end of the day, if they are not interested in going there, and if they want to stay in the peripheral, then you know what, there's not much you can do, because we all have to make a choice of whether how far you want to walk and how real you want to be with yourself and others.
Yeah. Because when you are authentic, then you become a magnet, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do, because you are pretty much vibrating with your full essence.
Yeah. I think a few days ago, I was listening to EA's video, and I think that she mentioned that in a new world, it will be all about authenticity, integrity, and responsibility. And this was so powerful because it is like that. It's authenticity, integrity, and responsibility. Companies, it's personal accountability. Yeah.
And the
because it's not.
And funny thing is, all the words, Anya, you're using, they all are actually saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, it's like hone your own power. I shouldn't use the word damn too much, right? But yeah, it's kind of funny, right? Sometimes. But the whole thing is, it's because the more you're aware of your own self, what happens is that you truly are not going to get lost in other people's agenda.
Yeah.
Right? And that, so authenticity and responsibility and integrity, to me, they're saying the exact same thing. It's basically just like you have decided that you are on a mission. You know exactly what you want to do. You have, you're very honest with people, and you are also very aware who wants to walk with you and who doesn't. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's perfect because the more you do it, the better you even become at it. And that's my message to everyone that yes, we're all learning. It's an art school. But at the end of the day, the more you're authentic to yourself, because that's the one place that you should be, because nobody else can represent you except yourself.
Yeah, I always say, be yourself because everybody else is already taken. Don't be somebody else because there's no room with those bodies. Like, be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself because everybody else are already taken. So, yeah.
That is true.
So let's wrap this up for today. It was an amazing chat, and we'll definitely gonna do another one. So for now, thank you, Shehnaz. Have an amazing day. It's already night here because we are 9 hours apart or 7?
I think 7.
What is it?
It's your
7 hours. 7 hours.
Yeah.
See, we having a quantum chat because we are in different timelines. So that's perfect.
Exactly. So I think that I would like to at least leave one last statement for everyone who's listening here.
Yeah, do that.
And that is, first of all, the very fact that you're listening to us means that you are part of our tribe and we appreciate your presence here. We are very grateful for you listening to both me and Anja. And we would love for you to definitely convey the questions to us because we are saying just ask quantum because, everything is quantum, right? And the thing is, we love to answer these questions for you because as we are answering it for you, we're integrating ourselves with everything that there is. And integration is the key. So just remember that as you walk in your life or do anything, go to the grocery store or have a meal with your lover, whatever you do, just be one with everything. And my God, you're going to have so much fun in this magical world.
And we're going to help you with that. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shehnaz. Thank you. See you later.